Everyone, it's Patty from PS Paper Crafts. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to show you how to make this card using the Animal Outing stamp set, and then the paper is from Dinoroar. Um, a lot of the paper in the Dinoroar Designer Series Paper Pack has dinosaurs and things like that, but one of the sides was this, leaves and things. It almost looks Christmassy, but I thought it would be good for this card. Um, and one thing that I do love about the designer series paper is that it tells you on the back of the package the colors that coordinate with the paper, so you can just get the perfect color match. So this is Pretty Peacock, so the card base is Pretty Peacock, and then this outside circle, and this is Old Olive, so I use that for the inside circle. So it's really just makes things very easy that you can coordinate everything. And then this stamp set is really cute, but it is on the retirement list, so I figured I'd make a card with it and let everybody see what's going away. They have some really cute new ones coming in, but I love this one. I think it's really adorable. So we made this card with the kangaroo, and then the next one I'm going to make is with the rhino. And I'm not sure what I'll do on the inside, so it's got kind of this peekaboo hole. I may do a birthday for a grandkid. I'm not sure exactly what I'll do, so I left no sentiment on it. Wild About You, I might just write a little note about him. I don't know. So I have all my pieces cut. We are going to do some die cutting. I did some die cutting ahead of time, and I used a template. I just took a piece of copy paper, and I kind of played around with it to figure out where I wanted the holes, because we have to cut through this, we have to cut through the designer series paper, we have to have the animal, the rhinoceros, peeking through at just the right place. So let's get started with the stamping. I know I'm fumbling through here with a lot of different pieces, so I want to just line this up, and this is bigger than my normal. I wanted to have a lot of room because I felt like this took up a lot of room and I wanted my sentiment. So this is 4 1/8 by, I think, 5 7/8. But I'll have the dimensions on my blog, pspapercrafts.com, just in case. So the first thing, this is my inside layer. I'm just going to take a pencil and just draw a circle so I know where I want to stamp. And we'll ink up the rhinoceros. And I'm using black memento ink because I'm going to color him in with the stamping blends, and you want to use that black memento ink. That works well with the alcohol markers. So I just want to line him up so his head is in the circle and his body can just be in this lower corner. So I'll just stamp him down, and see, we just have the top of his head, and let's see how that looks. Cute. Probably could have been higher, but I think this is good. And with the kangaroo, you want to make sure the tail isn't sticking out because it kind of looks funny just having the tail. I guess it would be okay, but I tried to work around that. So now I'm going to color him with the smoky slate, the light smoky slate Stampin' Blends. Oh, and before I do that, let me erase the circle. Don't want the circle to be colored over. I'm not sure how that will erase. Okay, so let's color them in now, and I'll do the light smoky slate, and then I'm going to add some darker shading after I color them in. So I love coloring with these Stampin' Blends. They just are so smooth. And I'll just color his whole guy. I'll probably use the other end when I get up near his ears, because I don't want to make, I don't want to go out of the lines up here. So I'm going to just go to the kind of the bullet point. It's a little bit smaller, and you can get into smaller spaces with it. I forgot to take my color lifter with me up to New York, so I'm really trying not to make any mistakes when I color. The color lifter will actually let you remove color if you go outside of the lines, which is nice. It works really well on light colors, but once you get into dark colors, it doesn't work as well, especially like reds and purples and things like that. Okay, let me just smooth some of this out a little bit here. And I will just get a little bit on what he's standing on. Actually, maybe I'll do that in the darker. So then I'm going to use dark smoky slate, and I'll just go around where the black is and just kind of give it some shading, just to make it look more natural, I guess. People who are artists know this stuff. I just kind of go by what's already been provided in the stamp. Makes it easy for me. Okay, and then I'm going to just kind of go in here at the bottom so he's standing on something. Just very lightly. Oh, and I forgot his tail. There we go. All right, and let's color the bird. I'm going to color the bird with, let's see, what do I have? Dark pineapple punch. I'll do his little beak and maybe some of his feathers. And I'm just really dotting. I'll do these feathers too. Kind of bright. Whoa. And then I have to see what I grabbed. Dark pool party. And again, I'm going to use this little kind of bullet point end and get him done. So that's cute. I like how it came out. So the next thing we'll do is we'll do the sentiment, and then we'll do our cutting and our adhering and things like that. So I'm using Pretty Peacock, which matches the card base and the leaves and things like that. So that makes it easy. And I'm doing the Wild About You, and I just have a strip here. I'm going to go toward the bottom, and I'll cut this to make it fit the size I want when I'm all done. So I'm going to put this aside, and then we will give it a banner end and cut it off and things like that. So I think that's all I want for stamping and coloring. So now let's get to our pieces. So what I did was I cut some of it, and I'll cut the rest of it. But to get this piece here, I used the circle, the layering circles. So there's the scalloped and the plain, and this comes as one set. I use these all the time. They have circles, ovals, and squares, and I love them. So whatever circle you're going to use for this, you want to just grab the next size up, and you want to cut this. And I'll show you, before I show you that, I'll show you this. So this I fed in together. So when I punch this out, I'm going to get rid of that circle, and then I will have this ring. So this circle is the bigger circle for this. And when you put these together, and I did them separately because they're so tight, I didn't want them to get, I don't know, I didn't want it to not cut right. I mean, you could get it just perfectly, but what I did was I cut the big circle, and then I laid that little circle inside. So I cut out this circle with the big, and then this was all filled in until I put this one on it, and then it cut out the center. So I hope that makes sense. So that gives you this kind of layer. Okay? So that's that piece. So I already did that. I figured I would save some time with that. So this is the smaller circle, and I want to cut through this paper and through my card base with this circle so that we have the whole. So let's put these guys aside, put this aside, and this is where I use my template again. So I have this as the same exact size, and I wanted to make sure that I got my circle in the right place. So I'm just going to put this down, and then I'll get my Big Shot. And I have one glass plate down, and I'm just going to put this through, and I want to make sure it's lined up the right way here. And then I'm going to put this in, and I'm going to kind of feel that it kind of goes in to where that cut is. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I don't want to cut too many holes. I'm using the same template over and over again, so I don't want to cut it a little bit each time because I was off. Hope that makes sense. I hope this whole thing makes sense. So you're gonna end up with a bunch of these circles, different colors, and that's okay. You can use them for other projects. So here's one circle, and now I want to do my card base, and this will be the front of my card. So you have to make sure you do your front. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna lay this on. Now this is a little bit smaller. So see, I have this with the border around it, so you want to lay it how you would want to adhere it. And there might be easier ways to do this. I just figure out my own way, and it works for me. And I'm happy with it, so other people might do this a little bit differently. I just kind of play around and think things through, and when they work, that's good. So let's get rid of this. And now we have my template. We have another circle. So see, I could probably use this. I don't know. Maybe put another circle in it. You never know. You might be able to use these for other purposes. So don't throw them away. Hold on to them. So get rid of this. And now we have, oh, can't pick it up. We have this piece. And then this piece will go inside. See how it all comes together? Cute, right? And then these will go on the outside. So I think I'll put these on first. And I don't have my silicone mat, but this might be a good time to use a silicone mat if you had one. Just so you don't get your glue stuck to any other paper. But I'm going to try to be really careful. It's funny, the things, you know, I think if you follow me, you know I'm in New York babysitting my grandkids. And I packed up my craft room from Florida. And there's just some things that I didn't take that I wish I took. Like I didn't take any of my embossing stuff. So I can't do like heat embossing. I didn't take my gun, my heat tool, heat gun, whatever you call it. I didn't take any of my powders. I didn't take my Wink of Stella, aqua painter. So like I want to do some things and I'm like, oh, I don't have that. And I didn't take my silicone mat. So make do. And actually, I didn't even think about it. I did do another project and I used one of my kids' placemats that was silicone, and that one of my grandkids, and that worked out really well. Isn't that pretty? It just kind of all falls into place. And then we want to put this down. Now you could pop this up if you wanted to. I didn't pop up anything on this card. I just thought there was a lot to it, a lot of layers and pieces, and I just felt like I wanted it all flat. So let's get this down and just try to match up the hole, but you don't want it to be crooked either. So you kind of have to work with it. And I open it up to see how it looks on the inside. There's a little bit showing, but I think it's close enough. Okay. And then we want to put our little rhino there. I think this is so cute, this rhino. And again, you want to put it down. Now this has got to be centered. You know, it's not edge to edge. So you want to center it. And before you really commit, you want to just fold it down. That looks good to me. These would be great baby cards too. There's one of the sentiments. It says, welcome, little one. So that would be cute for like this one, if you wanted to do that. So it's coming together. Let's get this sentiment going. So what I did was I used my Banner Triple Punch, which is one of my favorite tools. And this is a little bit bigger. So this goes 1 inch, I think 2 inch, 3 inch. This is 1 1/8, I believe. So it's not going to fit in here, but if you just turn it over and hold it, you can figure out, kind of center it. I like to go down. I like to see my writing so I know where I am. You could hand cut this. Some people love to hand cut it. I'm not that good, and I end up cutting it and cutting it and cutting it, and then I have nothing left. So there we go. And then I'm going to do this one, and this one I'll just, this is I think 1 and, that was 1 1/8, so this must be 1 1/4. I like very tight borders most of the time. So this will just line up. So we'll put some adhesive. I'm going to put it on this piece since it's smaller. And I just use scraps, and that's why there are 2 different sizes. There's no real reason for that. It's just what I found handy. And I'm just going to cut the end. So I want to make this a little tight. I don't know if you could see, I'm moving it around a little bit because it is the liquid glue. So now we want to see about where we want it. And I'll just cut off the end with my trimmer. And if you have the little baby trimmer, the mini trimmer, you could, that's always good to have handy. That's another thing I left home. That was only available during Celebration. So if you didn't get it, you'll have to use your big trimmer. So let's get rid of that, and then we are almost done. I was going to go up to the top, but I don't think you need to. And you could pop this one up. I did not. It doesn't matter. It's whatever you like, your preference. Okay. And I think they're cute cards. I think they're fun. I love looking at the designer series paper and getting ideas of different ways to use it, you know, with other stamps other than what they're, you know, meant for. So these are the cards. I hope you like them and come back and see me. I have videos on Wednesdays and Fridays. The new catalogs, I ordered them, so they go live June 3rd. And if you've ever ordered from me, I'll send you one. If you haven't ordered from me and you want one, let me know, pspapercrafts.com, or you could do patty@pspapercrafts.com. Send me an email with your address and I'll send it off to you. And if you ever thought about becoming a demonstrator, this would be a great time to join because you can pre-order like the rest of us. My order will be in this week, maybe today, I'm hoping. And I'll get to see all the new stuff, and I love doing that. So if you wanted to do that, just let me know. All right, you guys have a good one. Take care. Bye.